From the tops of the snowy mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show, including Kingdom of Nye Radio and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, guess what? We have them free for you at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. You can also watch us live on YouTube each and every night here, Monday through Friday. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out the Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Mall. Grab a great book from We Read the Night. Join the Space Travelers for $5 a month. And Captain Jerk has you all up to date in the SOR Newswire. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by donating to Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. It's that time once again, everyone, where we crank up the woo meter, as it's the first Friday of the month, which means we welcome the return of our Keith Andrews and the ET Connection. Now, about 6 months ago, Keith released a book on species of aliens he's been in contact with throughout his life, along with ones he's learned about. Well, guess what, alien fans? There's a part 2 of this book coming out with 25 new species that we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to take your questions as well. So a reminder to all of you, if you're in one of our chat rooms, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're in LGAB, whether you're on Spreaker, whether you're on the Space Travelers Club, wherever you may be, make sure that you put your questions in capital letters so I do not forget to give those questions to Mr. Ronald Keith Andrews. Then at the bottom of hour number 3, I will bring you the SOR Newswire, brought to you by Paranoia Magazine. Mr. R. Keith, always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. How are you?
Well, aside from my tooth infection, I'm doing not bad.
Well, it's better than a bad case of gout, my friend. That is for sure. That is completely for sure.
No doubt there. Tell you, it's been a rough couple of years here.
I know. When are you going to start getting back into the gym, getting healthy, and making sure that everything is A-okay?
Well, the getting healthy part already working on.
Good.
Gym is a cute thought. I've thought about it times, never gotten back to that point. Of course, in all fairness, I think the longest I ever spent in the gym was 3 months.
Oh, I used to be a workout guy, man. God, I was at the gym 3 or 4 times a week, you know. And now, I think of the gym 3-4 times a week. That's the difference between me and the gym now, my friend. That is the biggest difference.
You think about it more than I do.
Really? Well, either way. Keith, for people who are just tuning in for the first time, learning all about you, why don't you teach us a little bit about yourself? Tell us how you became the man that you are.
Now, that's a long story, but in a nutshell, starting at birth, I started dealing with off-worlders, quite frankly, from day one. It started off with the whole idea of abductions and went through the MyLab as in military laboratories. At this point, I worked more as a consultant for the various races. Rough guesstimation. Originally, I said it was over 50. The first book that came out had 59. And I knew it was short. Well, I think I'm up to 25 in Volume 2 at this point. Meaning over 80 races combined.
Right. Okay, I know we are having some audio problems on the, I guess it's going to be through the Spreaker feed. I don't know why. All right. I'm getting messages galore about this. I'm curious if the audio is good on our YouTube channel and whether or not we should just update all of this quickly here, because apparently the audio is really, really bad. I can't hear it. See, on my end, it doesn't register. And I don't understand why. I'm a little shocked right now. Because before every show, I actually do a reboot of everything. I do. So, I'm a little shocked by that. I'm a little shocked that the audio is that choppy right now.
Well, let's face it. This like with today specifically, we're a little late getting off the ground anyway.
Well, we hit it on time. We hit it on time. I'm just trying to figure out the audio. YouTube is said to be fine, so it's obviously a Spreaker issue right now. So let me see here. I don't want to have to reboot the entire computer system here, but we do have our terrestrial affiliates that we need to think about here. So, oh my goodness, this is why I can't stand the Spreaker feed. You never know when this crap is going to happen. So let's try this. Let's try this. Let me now see. I'm getting mixed messages here. Mixed messages.
Let me guess. Some people are saying the Spreaker feed is fine, and others.
Spreaker, yeah. Some are saying maybe it's just worked itself out. I don't know. If you're having issues on the Spreaker side, make sure you give yourself a refresh on the audio to see if it cleans itself up. All right. If not, you can listen to us on KONR or the secret SOR 24/7 feed. Okay, the audio seems to have worked itself out here, so I'm not sure what happened there, but we've got it cleaned up. All right, let's continue on because it's Friday night. We have our Keith Anders, and by damn it, we have some woo to get to. We don't need to be worrying about audio problems when Keith is on the air. Keith, how you doing, man?
Not bad. How about you?
I am very good, my friend. I am very, very good, and I'm pretty happy to have you back on. And you're one of our most popular shows that we do each and every month here on Spaced Out Radio, and I just appreciate you always taking the time for us. And a few months ago, as I said in the intro, you wrote a book about alien species. How's sales for that been for you?
Honestly, a little on the slow side. But I've got a bunch of them in stock here, and I'm just starting to try and figure out how to get them onto Amazon and that sort of thing. Getting a lot of questions about it, but not a whole lot of sales.
So when people are asking about this and about the alien species that you've already worked on, what do you tell them? Because it's for a lot of people, man, that's it's a little out there.
Well, I agree, it really is. One of the biggest things that I found a while back, I got to look at, and I've misplaced it, but I got to look at a government booklet outlining a whole pile of them. And though I know the races by a different name, we managed to pair up most of the races that the governments have used, that the U.S. government had used. Which was kind of a nice little, confirmation from my standpoint. Especially when you're growing up, I always questioned whether I'd completely lost my mind, in spite of the fact the shrinks all said I was fine.
I just heard from Chuck over at KZFX, and he says the audio is good. This makes me feel good. Hi, Chuck. How's your goatee tonight, my friend? I hope you're sitting at the rink having a hot chocolate and listening in at the same time. Make sure you have a little bit of spice in that hot chocolate, if you know what I'm talking about, because hockey rinks will do that at this time of year, going into playoff season. Keith, with the alien book that you did, how did you come, the first one, because we're going to get to the second one tonight, how did you come to realize that you had come in contact with that many different alien species?
Oh, that was the easy part. I kept, essentially waking up knowing of another race, knowing the layout of it and what have you. So I started putting them on paper and looked at it and went, wait a minute. And, in all fairness, Dave, I can literally say it was after getting on the show with you that I decided that maybe it's time I put it on paper. When I got the number of questions around it, I got to the point where, maybe I should put this on paper and be done with it. Well, be done with it didn't work quite that way.
I hear you. I hear you, my friend. And, when you started looking through the species, did you realize that you had come in contact with well over 50 at that point?
Yeah, I knew it was over 50, right? Simply because of the number of races. And of course, for me, there were a number of movies that I watched where I'm looking at them going, that's a real race. Like, I've seen that one before, this sort of thing. Or I'd look at it, like I remember when I watched Independence Day, right? Watched Independence Day, and when we got to the scene with the bunker,
yeah,
I looked at the bunker and went, okay, and it wasn't a question of, I've seen it before. I looked at it and I was watching it with my wife at the time, and I literally looked at her and went, well, the layout is right, but the alien they've got there is 100% wrong. Right. So, and there were a number of other movies that I've watched, which is something I'm going to be including in the second book, is the movies that I've seen that actually have good renditions. Because let's face it, I am not what we call a good artist.
I hear that,
man, but
I hear that, man. I hear that. So when you were going through them, for people who haven't seen or bought your first book about alien species, man, explain what you're going through. Explain what you have happening there.
Well, what ends up happening is I started off by simply trying to get a handle on what people are calling them. Then I look at it, and then I think back and go, okay, what do I know about them, including what is the name I know them by. Now, understanding I have a problem remembering people's names, right, unless I write them down, it becomes an interesting challenge. But then all of a sudden everything comes in from their social structure to the reproductive structure, even to their motivation in the simplest of terms. Right. So it's just a case of I had to work out a catch-all, if you will, a program so that I could plug and play, as it were. Okay, here's the name of the race that people know by what I call the human designated race. Here's the name of the race that they are, what their basic political structure is, what their overall drive is. All of these things. And some of them, they are not by any functional stretch all human looking.
Right. Right. So give us a few examples of those species from book number 1.
Well, the one I got most familiar with right off the bat were the Strazazians, which are 7.5 to 8.5 foot reptilian. Okay, they are very honor bound, if you will, very militaristic. But the reality with them is they don't actually, unlike humans who usually know who their parents are, Strazazians haven't got a prayer because they are hatched in a hatchery.
They're hatched in a hatchery.
Well, the fact is the parents lay eggs. And as soon as the eggs are laid,
okay,
they get moved into a hatchery where the little guys are left in there with them. Hence, the eggs get turned on a regular basis.
All right.
But something we should get clear. When people talk about reptilians, in the first book, I've got at least 6 different reptilian races.
Oh, well, we're going to get into those.
Try that again?
We are so going to get into those.
Okay. Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah. No, it's a process of trying to figure it out because so many people, when they talk about reptilians,
yes,
they keep talking to me about, well, the reptilians are going to take over the world. They're here. They're infiltrating the government. And categorically, the answer is no, they aren't. Although V was a nice show. Which is where that whole thought comes from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with the Caesarians, or I'm probably mispronunciating that. I apologize. But what other species were you very familiar with in that book, and which one did you have to work with? So give us a few here. We got time.
Yeah.
Build up that book one, man.
Oh, yeah. No, in book one, well, I keep them handy because, well, frankly, my memory's shot to pieces. But when we take a look at just reptilian, right, you're looking at the Chitauri, which are actually an ancient race. They actually evolved on Earth. They're based over in Africa, right? And then, let's see, who else do we go? I'm just looking at them in alphabetical order here, just on principle. And you've got the Drakes, which are those people are about as arrogant as they come. They don't want to conquer anybody. They just want to rule everything after it's all said and done. Right. Then we come down and you have, on top of that, you've got Kamalians. Those people are just straight out a violent race. Right. And who else? Oh, the Naga. The Naga are literally a snake-like reptile. Okay, I call them reptilian simply because they resemble Terran reptiles. The Quetzal you'll see in Mexican mythology. They're the winged snakes, and they've been in and out of here forever, right? When you take a look at the Strelasian we've already mentioned, then you've got the Tormenon. If you ever watch a movie called Jupiter Ascending, the reptile they put in there is an absolute dead rendition of a Tormenon.
Okay.
Okay. Now, of course, the Teklak are a little 4.5. They're a 4.5 to 5.5 foot reptilian. Look kind of like a raptor. Somewhere on YouTube, and don't ask me where, somebody caught a picture of a couple of them running around in the New York sewers, I believe it was.
Really? Was that on video or actually captured them with their hands?
No. If they'd captured them with their hands, they'd be dead. Presumably they lived, considering the videos on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen those ones before. I really do understand that. I do understand that. All right. You know what? We already got questions for you, Keith.
Sure. Well, as we know, that's what drives this show.
All right, let's start off with Joey and Joey's beard. He's got a pair of them in the SOR Space Travelers Club on our website. He's asking, do these reptilians who lay eggs like to eat eggs?
Not their own. Well, that's not entirely true. The answer would be yes. The Teklak, for instance, the problem they have with them is they much like the Strelasians, Teklaks put their eggs into a hatchery. But the problem is, as soon as they hatch, they try and eat the other eggs. So they've got the adolescent Teklak in the hatchery to whisk the newborns out of the way before the problem starts. Because they will literally kill each other at birth. Not a nice group of people to play games with.
Why are they so violent?
Genetics.
All right. I like Joey's next question. Which races are you use currency in, or are there any good tippers?
Well, humans use currency, and no, they're not on the whole good tippers.
All right. All right, let's get to Corey's question here on YouTube. Are there these race names directly from the alien races, or did you have to translate them?
Most of them I had to translate. I mean, let's face it, most of them they are quite literally races or names that humans on the whole cannot articulate. I mean, you take a look at some of them, like when we start looking at even the Greys. We call them, they're called either Greys or Zeta Reticulans by humans. The reality is they speak in clicks and pops. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
a little deeper. But yes.
I know. Give us an example of that. How's your throat doing? Can you do it? Can you do it tonight?
Rightly, no.
Okay.
Give it a shot, but...
Yep, there it is. That sound just puts chills down my spine, man. That was what was in my backyard. Oh, man. All right. I got a couple more questions coming in from YouTube, and considering the YouTube chat room is new, I would like to ask all of you, or just send you a reminder to type your questions in capital letters, because it is easier for me to follow if you don't mind. Betty is asking, Keith, are you familiar with the tall whites that Charles White speaks of?
The answer is yes. I'm still working out the name. That's one of the ones being added to Volume 2. And that is very much a work in progress, if you will. I've got it sitting in front of me here, so I'm just going to see if I can track it down. I may end up getting back to it as far as the name I've got for them. But I do know that they are in the offing for being added.
All right, let's get to NA on YouTube asking, are there any races that are extremely benevolent? And if so, who?
Well, the Thrazazians are literally allies. The Pleiadian are healers. They're very neutral healers, and I would personally classify them as rather benevolent, considering they do not hurt people at all if they can avoid it. They won't even get into the interstellar wars aside from cleanup. You know, they're kind of like intergalactic Switzerland, except they won't shoot people down. Yeah.
Well, you know, hey, if they get in your way, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Well, there's a couple of philosophies on that one.
All right, let me... they're going crazy over on YouTube right now. Robin is asking, we'll probably take the answer to this question after the break here, Keith.
Okay.
Because we only got just over 30 seconds here.
Yeah,
and Robin is asking, did one or many alien races make the human race? Oh, we're going to open up a can of worms with that one, aren't we?
Oh,
Creationists versus the alienists versus the scientists. Holy cow, we're going deep here. Going deep.
Yeah, that one's going to be... That one you're asking for I mean, I've got an answer for you, don't get me wrong.
Oh, I know you do.
It's going to open up a can of worms.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know. All right. Our Keith Andrews is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I know Chuck at KZFX is looking for a question, because he always has one or two as well, as he's sitting in the hockey rink, hanging on out. Thank you so much for joining us this Friday night, early Saturday morning if you're on the East Coast. More with our Keith Andrews and the ET Connection, coming up on the Mighty SOR.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Hello everyone. This is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Hello, everyone. Good to have you with us. Reminder, if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. You can also watch the show live on YouTube as well. That's a new feature this week, by the way. And, of course, our website, spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. The first Friday of the month, we have our Keith Andrews and the ET Connection. This happens each month, like I just said. Keith is here to take your questions, everything extraterrestrial, and keep it fun. Keep it pasteurized, as they say. Keith, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, and welcome to everybody tuning in.
All right, let's get to Robin's question here. Did one or many alien races make the human race?
Well, I could leave this a real succinct no, but we'll give you more than that. First of all, it wasn't alien races that actually built the human race. It was actually an ancient race. Many people actually know the race, and yes, it is included in the first volume. There's a race called Elfid, which, literally speaking, they're called Elfid. They're what people know as elves. Humans were literally built for war, but they were built based on because of the way it happened. They actually used the simian race as a template and simply accelerated it. Right. Net result, we have a very aggressive human race, but it was built literally to solve the problem. And then the biggest issue with it is humans are so much easier to repair than any other race out there.
Okay.
So, I mean, when you start looking at it, people talk about the human race being a very young race. Well, it really is. But it's older than what people think. That's why I said I could go with the idea of, no, they weren't. Because it wasn't the off-worlders that built them.
All right. Let's move on here because we have a bunch of questions. Greco on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio is asking, have any alien races infiltrated our government in the past, and are there any presently working with us now? If so, who?
Okay, let's start with the obvious part. Not that I'm aware of, and certainly not as dictated by their parent races. I mean, there's no doubt there are people on this planet that are hybrid, and no, every hybrid does not know it's a hybrid. Would not surprise me if some of them had gotten into government and other places. But this whole concept of off-worlders getting into the government to infiltrate it and screw it up. Now, mankind's entirely responsible for that.
All right.
That's that neat little thing that comes out of the movie V, out of the series V from the late 70s, early 80s.
All right, let's move on here. Another question from Corey. Ronald, you talk about seeing many different species in movies. Do the aliens work closely with Hollywood? If so, which ones?
Funny you should mention that. That's one of the things I'm adding to Volume 2. But it's not so much Hollywood does, as Spielberg, Lucas, and Carter know, and I keep forgetting what his name is. There's a European producer that also knows. That know what's going on. Of course, we can go back to the original Star Trek with Gene Roddenberry. He wasn't so much working with them as he had incredible insight into what was coming. Although I suspect very strongly he dealt with them to a degree as well.
All right, move on to Bob here, who is asking, what is the furthest away from Earth race do you deal with, and what do you do for them?
Well, it's not so much what I deal or which one I deal with, is which one I've heard of.
Right.
10 seconds, and this is where memory is a pain in the neck. When you take a look at Xenons are a mechanical race. Okay, and they are not on Earth yet. They are literally made of living metal, and there's a few other races built the same way, but they aren't even in striking distance of Earth yet. Right, but they are one of the primary reasons why I tell people that are playing around with the idea of let's give computers AI and cut them loose on the planet. This is just a disaster waiting to happen. Okay.
Makes sense.
Because their solution to a lot of mankind's problems are worse than most people's. They'll simply obliterate the whole race. Fortunately,
all right, go ahead.
Yeah, they are the reason why the Teclex ended up here in the first place. Because the Xenons are in the process of trying to orchestrate a takeover of the Teclex homeworld. Which, needless to say, means the consortium has stepped in and have gotten right involved in that little war. But that's a defensive mechanism to protect the Teclex.
Okay. Let's move on here. Now, I know you haven't seen the series Hellier yet, but Adam is asking, do you believe there are aliens living in caves around? And in this case, he's mentioning Kentucky, where the series Hellier is filmed.
Well, do I believe? The answer is yes. Unfortunately, I don't know geography that well, so I'm not entirely certain. I'd have to go and track down where the heck Kentucky is comparatively. But there is no doubt in my mind that the answer would be yes. Likelihood you're looking at either Greys, Rosasians, or Nordics, or probably all three of the above.
Okay. Let's move on here. The Geek Freak is asking, Keith, do you believe the reptilians were here during the age of dinosaurs?
Some of them, the answer is definitively yes. See, some of the dinosaurs, yes, evolved into, like as we know, the T-Rex evolved into chickens. Okay. But they are not the only, that's not the only route they went. I'm just going through book 2 right now just to find out where the heck it went. It's sad to say that takes a little bit of time, but yeah, there are a number of races. I can think of right off the top of my head 3 that came from the age of dinosaurs. 4, sorry. The Chitauri evolved from there, right? And then there's one that was that started off as the Pachycephalosaurus, the Spidicosaurus, and the T-Rex all evolved into their own. A whole lot smaller than their current ones. Well, current than their ancestors.
All right. Neuro is asking on YouTube, were ancient Greeks in contact with aliens? Were they aliens, or were they just exceptional humans?
They were exceptional humans, but they were very strongly involved with the Nordics. Funny part about that whole thing was the Nordics got here and took up seats like gods, and then when the consortium got here, they went, pull out, you are not gods, get the heck out of here. You're not playing this game anymore. Net result, the so-called Greek gods vacated. Okay, they had the same problem with the Quaddles. The Greeks, the Romans, and There was another race, another historical group of humans. Just trying to remember what the heck they were called. But there have been a number of off-world races that whole situation created an interesting problem.
All right, moving on. I guess we're not going to get to your second book here tonight. But moving on, Goddess Michelle on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio is asking, Keith, have you been served any ribs lately by any alien race?
Well, if you're talking about the ribs as in being picked on, yeah, that's normal.
I think she was saying, put a napkin around your neck and start chomping on down.
Yeah, and the answer, at least in the last week and a half, is definitively not with the way my health has been. Heck, I haven't eaten much on Earth, never mind anywhere else.
All right.
But, every time you talk to the Techlex, they keep offering food, and it's like, that's great, but then, you think some people have an appetite. You should try them.
Oh, no. All right, let's go over to Toronto, where Canadian Joe, who's very proud to be a Maple Leafs fan and drive a Toyota Prius, is very, very excited to say, Keith, can you help Dave get closure with Carl?
Well, it's not like he broke up.
I don't know.
The problem with Carl is Carl ended up back on, last I heard, on Zeta Reticuli. Something to do with overstepping boundaries way too often.
Well, I haven't noticed him around lately. I will say that. He hasn't been around lately, so I don't think he's coming back for a while. Not for a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't be holding my breath.
Yeah,
me either. If you think human military is a problem with protocols, you should try theirs. No, don't. It makes human military look like an absolute joke.
True. All right, Canadian Joe follows up and asks, what do aliens use to get intoxicated?
More often, now it depends on the race. There are quite a variety there. Some of them do use, and you're going to not like this one, some of them do use endorphins harvested from humans. Now, guess which ones those are? See, if you scare a human enough, they produce more endorphins in their brain. And if you know how to do it, you can harvest the endorphins. Right. But there are a number of plants that are very definitively intoxicating if you know how to break them down.
True.
Their version of alcohol, like if you take a look at the Nordics, what the heck is the name of it? There's a drink that they use, and I forget the name offhand, that has been recorded throughout history as being the nectar of the gods. Right.
Beer.
No, that's the ones on Earth. Yeah, I forget what the actual name is, but the Nordics have one that, as a matter of fact, if you watch, what the heck show was it? I think one of the Avengers movies. Sorry, I think it was Avengers 2 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
They actually named it off.
All right. Well, let's move on here. More questions powering on up. Davey on YouTube is asking, what do you think of the possibility of outer space being water?
You mean the stuff between the planets being actual water?
Yes.
Not. Although it's not entirely as empty as what they think. But water is kind of a scarce commodity. Right. I mean, let's face it. If outer space were water, first of all, humans as they exist today wouldn't exist. Okay, because you think that the flood back in Noah's time was bad. You should try what that would result in.
All right.
Especially when you think the temperature out in space would have that as a solid block of ice.
Well, that's what the flat earthers believe.
Yeah, we don't want to go down that walkway.
Absolutely. Adam is wondering if aliens killed Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't even know who Jeffrey Epstein is.
You don't watch the news. You know what? Believe it or not, I got cable for the first time in 4.5 years. I got sick and tired of not being able to watch Hockey Night in Canada. I know, Canadian thing. I realize that. But
yeah, it's sad when you think that I'm Canadian, and yet I think I could care less about hockey, but probably not much.
Well, I mean, everybody has their flaws, Keith.
Everybody
has their... I think I would sooner not be a hockey fan than be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, but that's just me. All right, let's move on here. Julianne is asking, what does the triangle mean on some species of small greys' chests?
The triangle literally means ultimate wisdom. It's actually the number 12 in base 12 numerology, in the base 12 number system. And it literally translates into ultimate wisdom. If you will, it's kind of like a ranking system. See, humans developed their number system based on one fact. Humans ran out of fingers. But when you start looking at interstellar numbering systems, you need 12. But that ultimately is what that usually is referring to.
All right. Mike is asking, as we got about 6 minutes before we got to go to break at the top of the hour, Keith, do you believe in the theory that governments have made deals with alien species to allow human abductions in exchange for technology?
On the whole, the answer is definitively no. I would not be surprised to find the occasional rogue agent having done so. But the governments themselves, no.
You don't think so?
They tried working out a agreement regarding some technology, but the technology that they were trying to trade was medical and communications, not weaponry.
Got you.
Problem was that humans decided that they would turn it all to weaponry if they could. Net result, the treaties fell apart.
All right. Sparkles is asking, if a person does not know if they are a hybrid, what do they know or what do they do to determine that they are? Is there some kind of process or test that can be done?
Not that I'm aware of. First and foremost, the hybridization program was designed to be undetectable by the people who are being turned into hybrids. You know, the Greys who developed the system were very specific about making sure that you couldn't differentiate on the planet they were being born, that they were being harvested from, if you will. Now, of course, if you can get in with the Zeta Reticuli or the Pleiadians, either one are technologically advanced enough to be able to tell you. Okay, but as far as the definitive proof, not that I'm aware of.
All right. Let's move on here, as we're going to continue with the audience questions as long as they are running, because that's what we do around here. All right. Insert Pie Now, great YouTube name, asking, is the Roswell incident true?
Depends on which rendition. Did Roswell happen? The answer is definitively yes. But it wasn't only three aliens. Okay, there were actually 5 that I'm aware of, one of which was a child. Also, the nice little part about it was it wasn't Greys in that incident. It was literally the Strazazians. Which, by the way, ties directly into the whole, I think it's the Hopi understanding of the youngin that was turned over to the Hopi ancestors. You know, as a way to keep it alive. But yeah, Roswell itself absolutely happened. The intriguing part is it was only the third one in the same area, in the same time frame. At the same time, there was another one about 60 miles northwest of it, and one that went in off the coast of Nova Scotia. Both of which got, if you will, sidelined by the sensationalism of the Roswell one.
True.
You know, it was funny on that one. That was actually one of my first UFO conferences I went to, and I was talking to a lady there who happened to be, her grandfather was actually at the site. And when we got talking, I laid out the site for her, and she just looked at me wide-eyed. I said, "What's the problem?" She goes, "My grandfather was at that site, and what you've just laid out was never published." I said, "Not entirely surprising." She goes, "But how did you find out?" I said, "I remembered it." Right, but then again, I remember past lives, which makes it a little easier in my part. A little harder to understand, but it does work. But yeah, Roswell definitively happened.
All right, let's move on. I think we got time. We got just over 90 seconds. Let's get to Greco's question here. He is asking, are there aliens using underwater portals on Earth right now? If so, who and why?
Well, the why is varied. One of the biggest reasons as far as the why would be the fact they're harder to see for humans. Okay, that'd be to start with. Now you do have who being there is an elfid race underwater. The merfolk, okay, are also down there, and then you've got this neat little race. The Zotar, which are a reptilian geckoid race, which spend a lot of their time underwater. And again, it really boils down to so people don't see them that easily.
All right. So are they established bases, or are they just hiding out?
The seafaries are definitively established. But humans will not run into them on their home, even by exploring for them, will not find them. Because they're at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. But they've been there for quite literally hundreds of thousands of years.
Okay, what about species that are new to this planet? Are they sent to stay underwater so that way they can be cloaked?
No, in all fairness, that may be part of it. The Udina can travel underwater. Some of the Udina that you hear about, the ancient sailors used to call them kraken, primarily because of the fact they look like a giant squid. If you watch the show, what the heck was it called? Visitor, I think.
Yeah.
No, The Arrival. They showed the egg-shaped ship.
Okay.
Right.
Keith, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we are going to go to break here at the top of the hour. Our Keith Andrews and the ET Connection continues right after this on Spaced Out Radio. We'll continue with your questions, and maybe we'll have time to sneak in his second book coming up about extraterrestrial species on Spaced Out Radio.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent, and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines Report.
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at mightymoosebeard.com today.
Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother is Watching.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook Spaced Out Radio Show.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to give a shout out to Chuck and the crew at KZFX 93.7 FM in Ridgecrest, California, KDUN AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon, WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia, UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans, and down in Bellingham, Washington, our newest affiliate, KZAX 94.9 FM. On the digital side, we're proud to broadcast on Kingdom of Nye Radio and Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. You can watch us live, as we're at 70 people now. Cool. Watching us live on youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio as well. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Ignipotent. Ignipotent is your password, spelling out got pie for this week. I figured it out, Jeff. The Clam sets a password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. You can rock out to Bumblefoot. You can hang out and read up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire as well. So many more features, so make sure you check them on out. Every first Friday of the month, we are joined by our Keith Andrews and the ET Connection. Keith is a lifelong ET experiencer. Now he helps counsel those who have questions about their own contact and questions about alien contact in general. Keith, welcome back.
Well, thank you for having me, and welcome back to everybody still tuning in and those that have just joined us, which apparently is getting to be a bigger number, which is great.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. All right, Keith, let's rock and roll here on the questions. Let's start off on Twitter with Greco, who is asking, is there an aliens race that has successfully colonized everywhere or most meaningful on the most meaningful planets in our galaxy? Who are they, and are they still around?
Well, the only race, now there's none that have colonized everywhere. The only race that I know of that is colonized in most places are the Archons. Now, whether we want to call them meaningful planets, it depends on who you talk to as to whether they're meaningful. The Archons figure if it's a planet, it's meaningful. But understand the Archons are more of a parasite than anything else. They literally infect a host body and take it over. Okay, because Archons are way too small to operate most technologies or most anything on a planet. So they literally, if you will, infect another race so they can take the gross motor control.
Right. All right, let's move on here. Mike, who I went Bigfoot searching with today, is asking, we talk about hiding places for aliens, oceans, mountains, etc. What about the theory that they travel dimensionally? Why the need for a base?
Well, two factors. Number one, we take the theory of dimensional travel and throw it out the window. Everything here, and I know I'll get flack for that one, but that's okay. Everything that exists in this world is third dimensional. Some of it vibrates at a higher speed, making it invisible, because the human eye can't track it. Okay, but the reason for the base is because even if they travel from a hypervibratory state, humans don't. Okay, and the sad reality of the human genome is if you vibrate it too fast, it falls apart. So it's easier to slow down their bases so they can get humans on board, or other corporeal forms on board, than it is to try and speed them up.
All right, let's move on. Adam is wondering, are there any alien bases in Antarctica?
Yep. Well, technically, no. The access to Antarctica actually leads to what people refer to, depending, as inner Earth or hollow Earth. It's an access point. And yeah, there are definitely extra races down there. But there is an ancient civilization. There's the remains of an ancient civilization there, on the surface, albeit under the ice. That the people are extinct. They'll find that probably another 30 years, give or take.
Yes. Leah is asking, do you think, Keith, the Greys are an alien species or an alien android?
Definitively species. There are androids that have been made to look exactly like Greys, but the Greys themselves, first of all, are an alien species. There's about 15 different nationalities of them that I'm aware of, and they are anything but on the verge of extinction.
Okay.
You know, much like Terrans have built androids that look human, the Greys have built some of their kind that look like Greys, and humans have built androids that look like Greys. But that doesn't make them a race unto themselves.
All right. Juan is asking, why did aliens come all of this way just to store stuff in people's butts?
Well, the short answer is xenosocioeconomic evolution. They're tracking the way that humans evolve. And the nice part about it is, given the number of people that sit on their backsides, it's the least damaged place. It's also the easiest place to put it without it causing a problem.
All right. Insert Pie Now on YouTube asking, what hybrid poses the greatest danger to humanity? Is it reptilian/human?
No. The greatest, I don't know if I'd call it a hybrid. The greatest threat to humanity is humanity. Understanding that the off-worlders do not want this planet. They don't want to own this planet. They don't want to control the planet. Well, aside from the Drakes. But they're quite willing to wait for mankind to screw it up so badly they can just walk in. They're just not interested in taking it.
Right. All right. NA on YouTube asking, do gods exist?
The answer is unequivocally yes. Okay, virtually every race, and I cover this actually in both Book 1 and 2, every off-world race has what they believe in, either a singular god or multiple gods, depending. But to be clear, if you take a person from a first world country on Earth, give them a Bic lighter and put them in the Congo, if they conceal that lighter and wave their hand over top of it and go, let there be fire, as they flick their Bic, as it were, that person is now a god to those Aboriginals. the other thing to remember is it was stated, I think it was Heinlein that stated it, that said when you push technology to its ultimate level, there is little difference between technology and magic.
All right, let's move on here. I love this question from Elgab from KSM. Says, Dave, I am married to a Nordic female. They are extremely aggressive in all manners, some good, some real good. Is it possible to tame my Nordic wife?
There's a lot of Nordic males that would love the answer to that.
All right, let's move on here. And... all right, Chris on YouTube is asking, which kind are the tall, slender ones who wear hoodies?
Which ones? That might be a shorter list. I know the shadow folk appear to wear hoodies. Okay, I just want to go back to this last question you had for half a second. I will tell you the way to tick her off, the Nordic wife issue, the fastest way to tick her off is to just give in without a fight. Without any sort of thought to it. She will take offense to it. But I do know that shadow folk do appear to wear hoodies. I was just, I've got to find there is another race that wears hoodies all the time, and it's only just being added to book 2. They are four-armed. Okay, and I'm just scanning through my list of notes here. One nice thing about having multiple monitors.
Yes.
Is I can do that without completely screwing myself up.
All right. Let's get to another question. Let's go to Twitter here with Greco. He is asking, what is the aliens' fascination with unique earthly events like lunar or solar eclipses, volcanoes, and electric storms?
Xeno-socioeconomic interactions based on poor education. They like looking at the way that the primitive human race responds to things that are so blatantly common. It's kind of like humans when they take a flashlight and shine it on the ground in front of a cat. That's one of the biggest reasons for it. For lack of a way of putting it, they find it entertaining.
Interesting. All right, let's move on here. Let's go to Fap in our Spreaker room, who is asking, is the great mothership going to come rescue us like the late, great Riley Martin said?
I wouldn't hold my breath.
How come?
Because mankind is here to protect the planet. They are the caretakers of this planet. They're not getting off that easy.
Are we allowed to leave?
Certainly, mankind has already left Earth. Quite frankly, Mobius, which is on the other side of the sun in the same orbit as Earth, is a Terran colony. From centuries back. Mankind is also already on the Moon, on Mars, on Io, and recently got to Titan. And for those people that have this brilliant idea that Earth is under some sort of quarantine, understand if it were under quarantine, there wouldn't be any abductions either.
True. Let's get to Catalina's question. She is asking, Keith, what is the best method to escape the Matrix?
Ask questions. And I know that sounds like an oversimplified answer, but it literally is the answer. The reality is, if something feels wrong, ask. Okay, and don't take the idea of, oh, you're mistaken, that's not the way it is. If it feels wrong, the odds are it is. As my father pointed out, when he finally confirmed everything, like he said, if you don't ask questions, you will never know the truth. The funny part about it is the matrix that she's referring to, I presume she's referring to the one indicated in the movie, is more of a human construct than it is an alien one. In other words, people are taught to believe something that doesn't hold a lot of water. And because so many believe it...
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem. You know, because so many believe it, it's become essentially accepted as fact.
All right, let's move on here. Let us move on. All right. Insert Pie Now is asking, Keith, what's your opinion on the scale of the secret space program?
If they wanted a secret, they should have kept it a little more secret. Sorry. The reality is, to me, it's about as common knowledge as you can get. Everybody knows about the Mir station, about the Mir space station. Right, a bit of derelict station that is still up there. They still take, photos. It's kind of like using a poster child. What they don't tell you is the 3 other international space stations that are up there with it, and the fact that NASA right now is in the process of getting geared up to leave Earth to build an orbital ship plant. Manufacturing plant, I guess, is the word I'm looking for, because it'll be cheaper. It's easier to build a ship in outer space with low gravity and launch it from there than it will be to launch it from Earth. You know, since they've already got the shuttles going up and down, it makes it a whole lot easier.
All right, let's move on. Greco is asking, Keith, which aliens are responsible for killing numerology? Because I hate them with a passion.
I didn't know they'd killed it.
Neither did I. I just asked the questions, man. I just asked the questions.
But I can't be responsible for screwing it up. Mankind developed numerology on base 10 because they ran out of numbers. But there are some critical flaws in numerology based on that little part, because numerology itself works on base 12. So if you want to blame an alien race for doing it, well, I guess it would be the humans, which aren't technically alien.
I guess so. Let's go on here. Shar is asking, if an abduction is hurting someone, why do the aliens keep doing it?
Because most of the aliens doing it don't know it's hurting them. And that, unfortunately, can be translated into the same question of humans abducting other races such as tigers, elephants, and fish. They do it because they're studying what's going on the planet regarding migratory processes, thinking processes, and hormonal exchanges.
Right.
It's a study. I mean, basically, when people call this a huge petri dish, essentially it is, but it's not quite the way they think. It's an issue of it's an ecosystem that has a staggering amount of information in it that the off-worlders do come here to watch.
All right. April is asking in the SOR Space Travelers Club on our website, what are the round donut-like ships floating about on the moon?
I know the one she's talking about. I'm trying to remember who brought them in, because they are race specific. I think they belong to one of the races I'm working on. You know, I wish I could give you a definitive answer right off the hop, but not yet. But I do know that they're not a threat. The fact that they're on the moon eliminates them being a threat.
Follow-up from April. Do all hybrids need implants to survive on Earth?
Not even close. I mean, think of a hybrid like a human adopted child. Right? Yes, they're hybrid. Yes, they end up being a cross-reference. But if they can get into the right family, then they will adapt quite nicely. And this is why most hybrids have no clue they are hybrids. You know, there are many hybrids that were never tagged. Because contrary to popular belief, the hybridization program, or the, if you will, the crossover, it's kind of like, when you take humans and you take a Canadian or an American and get them together with a Fijian, it's simply two races. In the case of humans, it's two nationalities. Right. But some of the races are close enough to human that they can naturally crossbreed, if you will.
All right, let's move on. Audra is asking, Keith, when you say hoodie, do you mean like anything that actually covers the head or actual sweatshirts?
Well, my understanding of a hoodie would be something that looks like a poncho with a hood. Right. Now, from that standpoint, that's why I say with the shadow folk, they look like they're wearing them. Because of the fact that it literally doesn't leave much in the way of a form, and yet the head looks like it's in a hood. That race I mentioned, that has 4 arms, right? Yes. That would be the Quinlan. And they are in the new book. I haven't got much of them written down yet, but I knew I had that piece down. But yeah, the hoodie is simply an issue of, if you will, a hooded cloak, or it could be a hooded sweatshirt, depending on the individual.
Right. Okay. Moving on, Sparkles is asking, as we only got about 2 minutes in this segment left, what race owns and operates the USOs that have been seen, and where under the water do they reside?
Most of the USOs that have been spotted belong to the fairy folk. They belong to the sea fairies. Where they reside is the bottom of the Marianas Trench. Okay, so are you likely to run into them in passing? No. Okay. Because, they did when they first started running into humans. It was sadly, in a twisted way, it was sadly comical how they pulled it off. Because they grab a human and take them underwater to try and take them down to their place. Only humans had this little problem. They didn't breathe water well. So they developed the UFOs to come up and collect people so they could get them down below and deal with them down there as in communication lines. And before anybody comes up with an idea, they are not taking them down to hybridize them. That's entirely in the Grey's hands.
All right. Quickly, let's see here. Well, we only got about 45 seconds left. We got a ton of questions left from the audience, so keep them coming. Keep them coming. And if we got to extend Keith into that final half hour and hour 3, we will. Because he likes to hang out with us. He thinks we're all right people. Don't know how, don't know why, but apparently he does. And I'm okay with that. You're okay with that too, Keith?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm up and running now. It's a good thing you phoned when you did, though, because I just about missed the dang thing.
I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, our Keith Andrews comes in the first Friday of every month where we turn up the woo. By the way, you can get Peak Woo t-shirts on our website, spacedoutradio.com, at the SOR Vault. That's always really cool because you want to check those on out and all the other cool swag we have there. Coming up next, we're going to continue with your questions with our Keith Andrews and the ET Connection. So stay tuned. More Spaced Out Radio right after this.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
We're bringing you something new to the documentary world. Beyond the Spectrum will take you on an historic tour of topics like no other: Sasquatch, UFOs, government secrecy, and more, keeping you on the edge of your seats through the eyes of legendary truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Richard Dolan, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, and Jack Casher. Head on over to Amazon Prime or Tubi TV and check us out. Please leave a comment for the filmmakers on their film's Amazon page.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter @SpacedOutRadio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today. we're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth.
We pass the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Hi, how you doing, everyone? Thank you for joining us. We want to remind all of you that... What do we want to remind you? Oh, yeah, if you want to watch this show live... or you want to check out our free archives, go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and doing a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Tonight we are with R. Keith Andrews. He comes in the first Friday of every month, where we get deep into the ET experience with the ET Connection. Keith is a lifelong experiencer who helps guide those to get their questions answered about what the aliens actually want. Keith, welcome back.
And thank you for having me.
All right, let's get right to Betty's question here. She is asking, Keith, is Earth a tourist destination for various types of extraterrestrials?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Not so much as in come in and walk on the planet, so much as come in and study. The Martokians are a prime example that bring their classes over here to study it. Every time Mars gets close to Earth at its closest point, and you can check up on the sightings, but sightings jump by about 300%. Because at that point they can make the trip down here to watch what's going on before they head home.
Interesting.
Sociology.
All right. You mentioned there were more space stations. What are they called? This from Corey.
I have no idea. How's that for a short answer? Unfortunately, I would literally have to
Very quick.
Because I know they're out there because I've seen them. Of course, I see them from beyond orbit, so it makes it easier from my end.
All right, let's move on. Here, let's go to April in the SOR Space Travelers Club. She is asking, Keith, do we know what races make bird chirping sounds?
There's a couple of them. The Greys are good at it. That'd be one of the obvious. The other ones, the Uka, are absolutely make what you would call a bird chirping sound. Of course, the Uka are very similar to owls. Okay, those two are pretty cut and dried. And then there's a third one that is around, where the heck are they here? There we are, the Aura, which are actually evolved from birds. Or, well, more to the point, they resemble Terran birds. They aren't technically evolved from them, because they aren't from Earth. But those three are consistent with making bird chirping sounds.
All right, from our Space Travelers Club, Joey is asking, Keith, with all of your knowledge and expertise in ET contact, how do we know you're not a double agent for the aliens?
You don't. Let's face it, you look at the logic. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you no. But if I'm a double agent, I certainly wouldn't be saying yes. Okay, the other thing that we can look at is that, if I were a double agent, you'd think I'd be locked up in a cage somewhere, considering the CIA has already been to my doorstep to talk to me. And yes, I know the CIA is from the States, not from Canada. It doesn't stop them from overstepping. Yeah.
All right. April wants to know what alien race spits a lot.
Well, there's a few of them. I mean, humans are a real prime example, although they're not alien. But what is the name of the damn thing again? Pardon my French. There are a couple of them. I'm just trying to think here, and this is why I know who I'm looking for. Oh, yes, that's the biggest one. The Chick-Chock. If you watch the movie Alien, starring Sigourney Weaver, aside from the extendable inside jawline, you're looking at a Chick-Chock.
A Chick-Chock.
They do spit acid quite effectively. They're not the only ones that way.
Very nice. Very nice. Love it when that happens.
Yeah, I had a different word for it.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it would be fun. All right. Chris on YouTube is wondering, how widespread is human DNA in the cosmos?
Oh, welcome to the Soul Galaxy. Here. Soul as in S-O-L. There's another definition for that. Humans are indigenous to this locality. And although they have spread out a little, they are not exactly prolific on the outer reaches.
Right. Right. All right, let's see what else we got here. Element 115 is asking, Keith, what race is about 3 foot tall, hooded like a mini Grim Reaper?
Well, I'm still working on the actual name. This is because I only just started putting that volume 2 together. But he is right; they do look kind of similar to that. And that was one of the ones that George Lucas actually identified. Those little guys are interesting, but technologically very advanced. Not much in the way of physical contact, though. Physical stature.
By the way, cable guy Matt came in and did all my cable today. Hey, Matt, how you doing? He says this is a great show, Keith. He's really enjoying it.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, not a problem. We'll give cable guy Matt a good shout out here. He's a good dude. Good dude. All right.
Yeah.
Let me see what other questions we have here. I know April will probably have something. There it is. Do teenage grays fly around in their personal ships?
Usually if they hotwire them. They're not supposed to. This is one of the biggest problems that we have with Carl. Is he kept doing things he wasn't supposed to do.
Right.
But as with the human race, teenagers are still teenagers. They don't necessarily do what they're told.
I think that's actually happening. That sounds way too human.
The funny thing is, humans are not that different from a lot of the races, aside from configuration. I mean, humans, if a teenager steps out of line, on the whole, they're talked to, they're chastised, what have you. Techlex, if a teenager steps out of line, they're eaten. Cuts down on the stepping out of line issue. Doesn't stop them from doing it, but it does cut down on repeat offenders.
Do they whip around the solar system trying to figure out where they can cruise to pick up hot alien chicks or what?
In a manner of speaking, although in all fairness, if you're looking for, like, for instance, if the Martokians are looking for, as that was put, a hot female, they stick around Martok, also known as, from Mars, what humans call Mars.
Right. All right. Matt wants to know, Cable Guy Matt, because that's what we're going to nickname him now. Cable Guy Matt wants to know, what you think about the Andromedans.
They're a nice group of people. A little stuck on themselves, but what the heck? You know, the reality is they've got a real nice social structure. Technologically very advanced. A little stuck in their ways. They're still having trouble adjusting to new races as they come in.
Right.
You know, but on the whole, they're nice people.
Where are they? Like, where in the Andromeda galaxy do they come from?
The best I can put it is this. If you look at the Andromeda galaxy as a clock, right, they come from the outer rim at about 4 o'clock. And I know that ain't going to be a bunch help. I mean, it'll give you some idea if you can find a picture of the Andromeda galaxy. I don't know.
All right.
You were looking for.
Let's get to Lori's question. Keith, if one was visited as a baby and young person, followed through life off and on, why would they not make themselves known, and why?
The moment they make themselves known, they are no longer dealing with an uncontaminated observational process. That'd be the why. See, once somebody knows they're being watched or being taken, it's no longer an unknown, and you no longer get honest reactions because, see, humans on the whole, if you abduct them, are very fearful individuals and react from a primal standpoint. But humans have this funny little problem. They have a curiosity streak that is almost unstoppable, and the second you put a face to what the fear is, more often than not, they want to know more about it instead of running away. Aside from the cases where the people eat them, you know. But that's why they don't tend to reveal themselves.
All right. I just want to remind because we're kind of new to YouTube and everything like that. If you're in the YouTube chat, do me a favor, put your questions in capital letters. I don't want to miss any. So please do that. It'll help me out a lot. Joey is asking, the coordinates sent by the aliens in the Spielberg movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind match the Denver International Airport. Do you think there's any coincidence to that?
I have come to believe that there is very little in the way of coincidences. But it would make sense. I mean, I'm going to have to take his word for the coordinates thing. But it would make sense, given that that particular movie is the best, bar none, rendition of the Zeta Reticuli, both the scientists and the controllers. I have never seen a better rendition in another movie.
No, neither have I. Neither have I. All right, let's move on to Robin here, who is asking, Keith, why do the Sumerians and Mayans picture writing seem to get mixed up all the time?
Well, you mean I'm presuming she means between the two. And, well, the Sumerians and the Mayans, number one, were both human, and humans have a tendency of getting mixed up on things. Okay, that'd be the big problem there. You know, so it's sort of the case that you're trying to understand a nationality or a stream of people that both essentially went extinct. Although there are remnants of the Mayan Empire still alive.
Very cool. All right, here we go. Next question. This one coming from Greco. Are tribbles a problem for alien ships?
No. See, I've never found it again. The original Star Trek that showed the trouble with tribbles, there was a follow-up to that called The Trouble with Tribbles 2, where they showed the race that actually keeps tribbles under control.
Right.
I have yet to
Right.
find that particular episode again, which is unfortunate. It was a well done episode. That and the fact that their home world, a lot of the plants on the home world eat them. This is why you don't take something like a tribble out of its natural habitat. Because the moment you do, you have a massive problem. Funny thing is, there have been a couple of cases where the tribbles have been released on an uncontrolled planet, and they literally had to burn the area the tribbles were in, which meant wipe out everything, in order to take the tribbles out of the equation. Because the tribbles would have wiped out the life forms. But see, humans are not good at the idea of wiping out entire chunks of themselves in order to protect the rest of the planet. Which is probably a good thing, by the way.
All right, let's move on here. Chris is asking, have humans eaten an alien, and what would happen if one does eat an alien?
Depends on the alien. And there is no doubt that some humans have eaten them. Okay, I would not recommend any human try and eat a chick-chock, mind you. Because what happens in a case like that is the human will die. When you take a look at the acid content in the chick-chock, the moment you crack them open to eat them, you're dead. Because you simply dissolve.
Oh, that's nice. A little acidic there. Need more honey or lemon or something like that, eh?
Something to that effect.
All right. Richard is asking, were we warned to stay off the moon by aliens?
No. You were warned to stay off the moon by humans that didn't know how to deal with it. And now that being said, they didn't actually pay attention to it. Because it ain't like mankind has not been back to the moon since, although they'll tell you wholeheartedly they haven't. See, mankind is still going to the moon. They just don't tell you about it. And you'll find out about that in about 30 years.
Okay. Shar is asking, wouldn't most people die of fright if they remembered these aliens who were taking them and hurting them?
Die of fright? No, but they do tend to develop if they remember it. And this is one of the reasons why the screen memories are. Because humans have a bad habit of suffering from mental breakdowns and the like. You know, because human governments have spent so much time going, no, it's all in your imagination, it's all make-believe. When people get abducted and they remember the event, they immediately assume they're losing their mind. Okay. I spent a lot of time talking to a shrink and I asked a lot of different people in the same field the same question. How do you know if you're losing your mind? Well, the answer is simple. If you're asking if you're losing your mind, you're not. Because if you're losing your mind, you won't know it.
Right. All right, let us move on here. And let's get to Maureen's question. Are there any alien species susceptible to human-like diseases like the coronavirus?
Actually, quite a number of them. This is why there is such a high focus on, inoculation and what have you on the off-worlder standpoint before they're even released onto Earth. Even the researchers that come down here are inoculated first. That's also one of the reasons that they work with the hybrids, because hybrids have a natural defense on it.
Gotcha.
But human diseases like with other races, especially when you start looking at the humanoid type, can be devastating.
Makes sense. All right, let's move on here as we continue on Spaced Out Radio. All right, April is asking, are the dragons on Earth becoming more active? Dragons.
Ultimately, the answer is yes. See, the original dragons actually still live on the astral plane. But because of the damage that's being done to the planet, they're starting to take a greater interest in it. Because they literally are working to help defend Earth from Earth's denizens. Okay, the funny thing is that if mankind continues down the path it's going, and the dragons decide to return, those particular dragons decide to return on force, the cities that mankind have won't survive. And see, you go back about 5 years. I think it was about 5 years ago. Somebody found the skeleton of an actual fire-breathing dragon. Just a little one, like it would have just been a baby. But it had the two nasal passages, one of which was charred cold, like just charred completely out. The other one wasn't. Which is completely, it's the way that they work. Now, picture something that breathes fire, amongst other things. The earliest dragons actually breathed acid. Right. So if they, take something the size of a brontosaurus or a subrasaurus and have it breathe, spitting acid, you've got a mess on your hands.
Makes sense. We only got about 30 seconds left here, so we're going to kind of hold off on any more questions until we come back here for hour number 2 or 3. Holy cow, we're flying by. Keith, everyone's still here rocking, man. We may have to bump the news and the thought of the day for you tonight, man. We may have to.
Well, I'm not exactly going very far.
Well, we shall look into that. We will definitely look into that. Our Keith Andrews is here the first Friday of every month. Oh, goodness. See, I read my clock wrong. We got another minute. Damn it, we do have time for a question. All right. Anyways, we'll continue on. Our Keith Andrews here. We'll make it a quick question here. Roy Boy is asking, what do male aliens do to show off for the female aliens? Woohoo! A little saucy here. Saucy.
That depends entirely on the race. Some it boils down to color displays. Others it depends on what humans would call dance moves. Right? And there are some races that show off by killing everybody else around them. Which, by the way, is really hard on the competition.
Well, that'll do it. We'll continue on with everyone's questions right after this on Spaced Out Radio, because now we're going to go to a break. By the way, if you're a hockey fan, sad news today as Henri Richard, otherwise known as the Pocket Rocket, passed away at the age of 84. I got to meet him a couple of times. I actually got to try on one of his Stanley Cup rings probably back in 2005. Great guy. Now playing hockey in the sky. 11 Stanley Cup champions for him. 11. More Spaced Out Radio right after this.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello everyone. This is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spicing up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thorne, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to give a shout-out to everyone listening in on UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans, KZFX 93.7 FM in Ridgecrest, California, WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia, KDUN AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon, and KZAX 94.9 FM in Bellingham, Washington. On the digital side, we're proud to broadcast on Kingdom of Nye Radio and Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free and watch the show live on YouTube at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Ignipotent. Ignipotent is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets a password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We got a plethora of features for you. You can rock out to Bumblefoot and read up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. We got a bunch of other features on there as well for you to check on out. We got our Keith Andrews here on Spaced Out Radio. He comes in the first Friday of every month with the ET Connection. Keith is a lifelong experiencer, helping those answer their own ET questions. Keith, thank you so much for joining us tonight. What a pleasure.
Well, pleasure to be here. And I tell you, I just love the questions that come in. Oddly enough, it makes me almost feel normal on occasion. You know?
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. So, Keith, as we continue with the audience questions here, I am very curious about the idea of, what Waylon has to say in YouTube. Where is Bigfoot?
Now, that's an excellent question. There are many different nationalities of Bigfoot all over the planet. Basically, the reality is they know how to get around a lot better than humans do. And they do have access to true shamanic, what humans call shamanic magic. Natural magic. AKA the ability to disappear while you're looking at them. This is why I caution people when they start talking, if you're trying to see one, the last thing you want to do is announce that you're going out on a Bigfoot hunt. I mean, let's face it, people just don't like being hunted. But I mean, they are heavily in the Rockies, right? But some of the different names you've got, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the Abominable Snowman, the Yeti, they're all different nationalities of the same race. Okay, and they've been here since before modern Homo sapiens evolved.
All right. Joey is asking in the Space Travelers Club on our website, why wasn't Voyager 2 able to detect planet Mobius as its path took it in that direction?
Wait a minute, you want to try that again?
Okay, you were talking about Mobius earlier, the planet. Yeah. So he is asking why the satellite Voyager 2 was not able to detect Mobius as its path took Voyager 2 in Mobius's direction.
Well, primarily because of the ability they have on Mobius to conceal the fake. Finding it is not that hard. But you also got to remember that the information that was broadcast back by Voyager 2 was also modified by the existing space agency at the time. They essentially deleted the pixelation from it before they released it to anybody. You know that funny thing called classified information?
Yes. Yes, indeed, my friend. All right, let's continue on here as we will get to, where are we here? Greco wants to know, Keith, tell us about the original planet you are from.
Well, we have to go way back. If you start with the idea of the Big Bang Theory being the start of this universe, this isn't the first one. Okay, I was actually, and this isn't where I'm originally from. Where I'm originally from goes way back. The so-called Big Bang, I tend to refer to as a flip because of the way it was shown to me as to how to explain it. But 6 flips ago, I was actually an information controller. In other words, my whole job was simply to make sure information went where it was supposed to so that things could come together properly. But at that point, I was a young adult. Needless to say, in my past lives, I've got a fair chunk of them. But
all right.
The thing was, I wasn't human at that point, for obvious reasons. First of all, humans didn't exist. What you would call because where I come from originally isn't what you would call a planet. It's closer in rendition to what you would call a sun.
All right, let's move on here. Stu is wondering, do reptilians smoke weed?
That depends entirely on the name of the chap that they're trying to smoke. But on the whole, their mouth is absolutely built wrong for the whole concept. That's why I get a kick out of that one show. I forget what the heck it's called. The one that, the heck was it called? Showing a Little Gray smoking. There was a comedy. Oh, Paul. At least with the Greys, mouth will do it. But most reptilians do not have a mouth that will actually permit smoking.
Bad lungs. Cheap lungs. They bought the cheap lungs. All right. Leah is asking, why do aliens do cattle mutilations, animal mutilations, and even sometimes human mutilations?
Oh, delicacies. Delicacies and or research. Depending on the race. Humans call it mutilations. They call it harvesting.
Good old harvesting. Good old harvesting. Does it happen more than what we know?
Oh, Lord, yeah. Way more than what you know. The problem is that they actually do it more often than not on the outskirts of where a given herd is. Which means by the time the humans find it, if I remember the numbers correctly, it only takes about 5 days for Mother Nature to reduce a cow to nothing. So when a rancher goes out and takes a head count and finds a few missing, they may never find the body.
All right, Andrew is asking on Twitter, hey, Keith, are you okay, dude? Are you getting some interference from someone, aliens perhaps?
Well, the okay is a debatable point. You know, I'm sort of at a loss as to how to answer that one. Am I being stopped by anybody? No. But because of the fact that I'm tied directly to the planet, I end up reacting to things that most people never even consider. So, I mean, my last 2 years has been absolutely murder health-wise. But I do appreciate the question.
All right, let's continue on here, my friend. Andrew, follow-up question. He is asking, Keith, there is an increasing meme rising in pop culture, and that is the idea of a coming alien or godlike race from the stars. Hip-hop rapper Lil Uzi Vert, who released his album today, is an example of this phenomena. What do you think these musical artists are seeing?
It's not so much what they're seeing as what they're trying to do. Frankly, they're trying to tap into a common fear. So here's an interesting thought for you. If an alien race were to actually decide it was going to wipe out Earth or take over Earth, number one, they would hit it with an EMP pulse. I actually had this discussion the other day. They'd start with an EMP pulse fired from the far side of Mars, wipe out communications. Then from the far side, they'd move a little closer, and from the far side of the moon, right, where they're still concealed by the luminescence of the moon, they would start picking off the satellites and having them drop on Earth. Net result, by the time that they ever hit landfall with an intention of wiping, of taking over, mankind would be totally disoriented as to have nothing to work with. So I really wouldn't worry about an alien invasion. Because before anybody could ever get even geared up for one, the fight would be over.
Makes sense. They're kind of a little bit more advanced than we are.
Well, that's
just a tad.
Mankind still has this brilliant idea you have to have a direct line of sight to have communication. They communicate from the far side. They can fire off. They've got a neat little weapon that if they really wanted to, they can fire it from one side of the moon, or from one side of the Earth, through the Earth, and have it detonate on surfacing on the other side without leaving a hole.
Nice. Nice toys. Very nice toys.
Brilliant toys. This is why I got a kick out of it when I watched, when I watched Independence Day. We came up with the idea of let's hook a human computer up to an off-world computer and take the off-world computer over. Now, to put that in perspective, take an abacus today and hook it up to an IBM and see how much interaction you get.
You didn't like that scene?
I from a movie standpoint, I loved it. I liked the movie. It's the fact that people get hung up on the idea of mankind is so advanced and so extremely capable that they can take off-worlders out without even blinking. Even most of the ancient races, if they were to go to war against mankind would be dead before mankind knew it. In the ancient days of man, there was something that they talked about called magic. The problem is that true magic does exist. It's just humans have forgotten how to work with it.
All right, let's move on here. All right, because we have more questions. This one coming from Cat Chaser. Is there a connection between Bigfoot and UFOs?
Only in as much as they're both misunderstood. Okay, as in, Bigfoot itself is an ancient race, not an off-worlder. There is, however, and we've talked about this before, there is a race called the Wara, which looks very similar to a Bigfoot, and is an off-worlder. But direct combination between the two, no.
All right. Let us continue on here, and let's go with Betty. Are there races from Zeta Reticuli and Alpha Centauri? Who are they, and what do they engage with us?
Well, the Zeta Reticulans are what humans call grays. Okay. Their dominant race is. Now, there are a number of other races from Zeta Reticuli that are rather intriguing. They are plant-based. And I've got a number of them actually being included in the second book. Okay. As far as Alpha Centauri, the answer is yes. Now, the nice thing about Alpha Centaurans is, like humans, they are pretty easy to deal with. They can actually, if they're trained properly, pass amongst you without too terribly much trouble because they do look very similar. They aren't human, so as long as you don't take them into the doctor to get them tested, they'll be fine. Oh, I thought we had those already here, but thank you very much for that. I'm simply going to add that to the second book. Yeah, I actually thought I had the first one, but apparently I was mistaken.
My goodness, we are so behind on the questions right now. I don't even know where the hell to start here. I'm trying to find my place here. All right. Angela is asking, are tall people like Andre the Giant hybrids of some sort?
No, they're genetic throwbacks. Humans used to be that size. People like Andre the Giant are simply a genetic throwback from the earlier years. Same as Eddie McCaskill and Goliath were genetic throwbacks. Right. But yeah, Andre was absolutely pure human. Just big. And as I recall, he had a heck of a sense of humor.
All right. Betty is asking, was the Mona Lisa body in the crashed spaceship found by Apollo 20 on the moon a hoax?
Well, in all fairness, I cannot speak directly to it. I didn't know about it. That being said, it does not add up to me that they would have taken Mona Lisa's body and taken it to the moon in the first place for any reason. So I'd be inclined to say yes, but I do not have a definitive answer.
Well, Mona Lisa, I know you're not familiar with this, is there was allegedly an alien craft that was crashed on the moon. This secretive Apollo 20 rocket landed on the moon. They did a spacewalk. They went into the crash and saw this alien lady laying dead on a table, and she looked like the Mona Lisa, so that's why they nicknamed her that.
It wouldn't be an entire shock, considering that the off-worlders were here at that point. You know, I mean, that wouldn't be an entire shock. It's just they're not exactly known for taking corpses.
Right. All right, Joe is asking, are the aliens fascinated by your incredible mutton chops, Keith?
No, not overly, in all fairness. Most of them just look at it as a choice. Now, on the other hand, if you take a look at the ancient race, the one ancient race on the planet, they're quite happy with them. Mind you, they're quite happy with anybody that's got even a rendition of a beard. And that would be what people accurately refer to as the dwarven race. They are very prolific underground. But they're not an off-worlder. They evolved here.
All right. Let's get to another question here. Corey is asking, Keith, have you ever suspected that Dave is an alien? I'm not an alien. I'm a Canadian.
Dave may be a little weird, but no. You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, Richard is asking, is the government working with extraterrestrials or not? Are we getting technology from them for cattle? I hear so many different things, I don't know what to believe.
Well, we'll start with the issue of, are different races, different off-world races, working with the governments? The answer is, and to a degree, the answer is yes. Different races to different governments. Okay, as far as, is there some sort of contract permitting the off-worlders to take different things. They tried that, but since human governments had a tendency of breaking the contracts, they quit with the idea of the contract. Now, this does not mean that abductions and genital mutilations don't happen. It's just not a trade-off. See, if you go back to World War II, it's a well-known assessment that Hitler was in contact with off-worlders. What people don't realize is so was every other major country.
All right. Shar is asking, Keith, when was your last abduction or visit, and what happened?
About 2 weeks ago. Because of the fact that I've been ill the last couple of weeks, they've been kind enough to leave me alone. You know, something to do with the fact that it screws things up when you go off-world. And my system's already been a bit of a mess. But that being said, we were simply looking at that's where I was informed that, no, they were not going to, because we knew this was coming, what the people are calling the coronavirus, they are not going to be interfering with, because it's not their doing. Okay, and the coronavirus will not damage the planet. It's going to play havoc with the human population, but it won't damage the planet. And from the off-worlder standpoint, if it's not going to damage the planet, it is not their concern.
All right. Let's move on here. And let's go to Stephen, who is asking, Keith, do you think the little Fae people have anything to do with extraterrestrials?
Only as far as they interact with them on occasion. But the little Fae people got here before the extraterrestrials did. You know, the only Fae that arrived here early, or the only alien race rather, that got to this planet early on, second only to the Fae, was the Muldocs. Right, and the Muldocs still come to this planet. To give you an idea of them, watch the show Predator. That is a perfect rendition of a Muldoc.
All right, let's continue on. We've got just under 45 seconds here to go. Let's get another question is from Overbuilt Automotive on YouTube. Do human hybrid dudes have a hard time getting dates with normal girls as they may be a little bit different?
In all fairness, sorry, not a clue. I have a problem figuring out how some of the people I've met haven't managed to get a date at all. So, you know, I am not what you would consider the person that you talk to find out about the interaction on that end.
Right. All right. I think we're going to wrap this up for this half hour. Keith is going to stick with us. We got way more questions than we do time tonight, so we're going to try and fit them all in. Keith, we're going to be pushing you hard this next half hour. Pushing you hard. All right, so we're going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour on Spaced Out Radio. I'm your host, Dave Scott. Our Keith Andrews in the hot seat tonight with the ET Connection, which happens the first Friday of every month. Your questions continue right after this on Spaced Out Radio.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Hey, Spaced Out Radio fans! It's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from dance to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Looking for something new to push your limits? Look Beyond the Spectrum, a new docuseries featuring some of the best researchers in the world when it comes to everything from UFOs, government cover-ups, and Bigfoot in the forest. Truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Richard Dolan, as well as others all chip in to bring their knowledge to you. Beyond the Spectrum can be found on Amazon as well as Tubi TV. Tell us what you think on our Amazon page.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
We rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Want to remind all of you, if you missed most of this show or others, you can head to our YouTube channel. Check out our live feed as well at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We got a plethora of features for you there. You can check them out while you're listening to the show. Our Keith Andrews is here. We're taking your questions until the top of the hour. We got a bunch, Keith. We are not going to make it through all the questions tonight. I do apologize, but we will try and trudge through as many as we can until the top of the hour on the radio side. And don't forget, afterwards, we have our Friday night Ask Me Anything after party on youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Darcy has the first question for you, Keith. Do any alien races abduct and manipulate any other alien races?
All the time. Humans are not alone in that regard. Because, I mean, you think about the biggest ones would be your Zeta Reticulan, because they are constantly creating hybrids of the other races as well. For exactly the same reason. It's easier to grow cultural interpreters than it is to try and build a universal translator in a computer. And then, of course, you have a number of wars going on where abductions and slavery run rampant. Although there are some races you just don't want to try and turn into slaves. They don't cooperate well enough.
All right. FAP is asking, is the story of the Kandahar giants real? Are there giants still roaming around Earth? Never mind basketball players, because they're just all tall. But giants.
The answer to that is yes, just not many of them. Most of the giants have actually moved underground. Okay, but you will find the occasional one, and he's referring to the giants that people have seen. And I do mean the skeletons and what have you. But yes, there are some still living.
All right, let's move on. Greco is wondering, how do we protect our kids from unwanted alien intrusions?
Well, this is going to sound awful, defeatist. You don't. Ultimately, what it boils down to is understanding that the issue of alien intrusions, as was just stated, is more an issue of they're not actually taking them to create a problem. They're taking them to understand the part of the situation.
Right.
But as far as I'm aware, stopping it from happening, you can interrupt it if you know what's happening. Right. Like I have been involved in stopping an abduction in progress. But you got to be right there when it happens.
All right. Let us move on here. Leah is asking, Keith, are you part of the DNA study of abductees they are doing? If so, what are they looking for?
What they are looking for, what they're trying to figure out with me is the easy part. why it is I don't see other races as any different than humans, aside from physical configuration. And this is one of the reasons why I stand where I do with them. Because I just don't see a difference, and they're trying to figure out if that's a DNA thing, or if there's something else contributing to it. You know,
makes sense.
That being said, I mean, they've got a lot of different methods. The nice part about it is they've gone from the idea of trying the abduction thing to just going, can we do this?
Right. Okay. Let's move on here. Vinny is asking, were the elongated skulls related to hybrids?
Yeah, where the heck did I write that? The answer is no, they're another race altogether. I have no doubt that they may well have been tied to hybrids, but they themselves are another race.
All right, Vinny's follow-up question. Can our brains even comprehend the answers we are looking for these answers?
Some of you, the answer is yes. Many of you, the answer is probably not. The brain itself is capable of understanding, but most humans have been taught so strongly that they are on their own, that the whole concept of off-worlders or ancient races, or for that matter, true magic, doesn't exist. Okay, making it difficult for people to wrap their brain around.
All right. I guess so. All right, let's see here. And both Waylon and Vinny are asking, in regards to the missing 411 cases, is this a lot like aliens doing this?
The 411 specifically, I'm not entirely certain if it was directly that. My feeling on it, quite frankly, is it probably hit a pocket, and probably hit a pocket wormhole. Net result, they're looking for it in the wrong place. And by the time they do find it, they certainly won't have survivors to work with. See, pocket wormholes exist on Earth, and you can hit them and end up somewhere else entirely. So needless to say, if it goes and disappears in one location and shows up on the other side of the planet, you're not going to know to look over there. And pity help you if that plane hit down in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It was buried long ago.
Gotcha. All right. Betty is asking, was the United States military shooting down alien craft in the 40s and 50s?
Yep. But that's only fair. The alien craft were shooting down the United States military at the same time.
All right. Stu is asking about the Greys. Are they capable of using medical marijuana? Stu, really? Have you ever seen a Grey open their mouth? They can't use medical marijuana. There's no way they could get it into the system. They got to take the secondhand smoke, don't they, Keith?
I think he's referring to the idea of Paul.
Oh, yes. Probably.
And no, like we mentioned, their mouth is not built correctly. Number one, they couldn't get a seal around it to actually inhale. They've got the ability where they could hold it in their mouth, but there is not a prayer they'll be able to inhale.
All right. See what else we got. I'm just seeing if we're caught up. Let me see. Oh, I moved my mouse too fast. All right. Vinny's wondering, is the royal family hybrids?
As far as I'm aware, no. You see, the reality is the hybridization program precludes directly targeting people of high power because they don't want to actually control the human race. They want to understand it, and if they're controlling it, they can't understand it. See, that that comes from back in the late 70s, early 80s with the Series V. That's where that whole concept comes from. But rest assured, mankind is doing its own number on the political system on all fronts.
Corey is asking, do aliens have pets?
Yep. I know that was.
Are you making some IKEA furniture there?
I'd like to. Actually, I really wouldn't. No, as far as pets go, the chupacabra, for instance, is an escaped pet that was left behind. That's so. Do they have pets? Certainly. Problem is, many of their pets are, to say the least, a little dangerous as far as humans are concerned.
Right.
Of course, humans won't take a tiger home as a pet. Right? These guys will take pets home that are the size of dinosaurs, depending on who they are.
Do you think there's a collection of aliens out there who have some of our species that are already extinct?
Yes.
On this planet?
Absolutely.
Would they bring them back in some sort of trade?
Absolutely.
Could we see... Why?
Because the races, the species that are now extinct could not survive in today's world without creating absolute chaos. Like, they do find it fascinating that mankind is bound and determined to bring back races that are long extinct. It's very ill thought out. But there are collectors out there that have pets that they've kept alive a lot longer than what the race itself, or what the species itself should have lived. But they keep it because, well, much like humans have zoos, so do they.
Really?
It's just humans.
What's an alien zoo look like?
Well, picture a human zoo with a whole pile of other animals. Not all of them from Earth. I mean, I know of one animal that's funny and heck to watch. Although I wouldn't recommend. See, in an off-world zoo, they don't relegate it to being non-sentient animals. They will take other races and put them in the same zoo.
Right.
Right. But I know of one race in particular, and I know they've got them in a zoo, where the race itself, and I'm still working on a few parts with it, but where the race itself, the stomach is actually in the forearm. Right.
The stomach is in the forearm.
Yes. So what they'll do is they'll grab hold of whatever they're trying to consume. The stomach comes out of the breast and wraps around the hand. Right. And then dissolves it. Now, said stomach has a spigot in it, if you will, and this particular race uses what would amount to a proboscis to drink what's left inside.
Okay.
All alien races are not human.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. All right. Let's see what else we got in here for questions right now. FAP is asking, did aliens take the Malaysian MH370 plane?
That, in all fairness, I am not honestly certain of. I'm presuming it hasn't shown up yet.
No, it has not.
From my standpoint, it certainly wouldn't be a surprise. But again, what quite often happens is these people will hit pocket wormholes. Right. And that result end up somewhere where they don't belong. Now picture, if you will, flying along in a plane and accidentally, you hit a wormhole and end up right in front of Mount Everest or in front of Kilimanjaro. Okay, you end up right in front of them, you're already hooped and you don't know what to do with it.
True. Very true. How do you deal with it?
Yeah, I've also heard reports of, planes flying along and ending up halfway down the Marianas Trench for the exact same reason. Well, if you're halfway down the Marianas Trench, you ain't ever getting that shit back.
No, there's definitely not the technology for that. That's for sure. All right, let's move on here. I think we've, just so you guys know on YouTube, I think we've wasted enough marijuana questions tonight. All right. Corey wants to know what happens when aliens drink alcohol.
That depends on the race. I know of one particular race. You can feed them alcohol. They will drink it once, sort of, and it'll kill them. So they tend to avoid it. On the other hand, the stories you've heard about dwarves liking to drink, it is not understated. As a matter of fact, it's really badly understated. Their biggest issue, because they like the stuff, most of their food is actually fermented. So you want to try drinking somebody under the table, don't pick them.
Got you. Stay away from the dwarves. The dwarven are a bunch of heathen drunks, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't necessarily say they're heathen, but they're definitely drunks.
All right. Our Keith Andrews tonight on Spaced Out Radio taking your questions. Let's get over to Kevin's question. Keith, was there any personal experience during the last heart damage to recovery that gave you proof of life after death? I assume he's talking about your stroke that you had over a year ago.
Not exactly new. Confirmation, certainly. Because in all fairness, I was told this by a number of people that were close to me, that I wasn't allowed to go home. Right? As far as proof of it, I had that decades ago. This is why I don't fear it. I know what happens when you get over there. But yeah, I mean, it boiled down to an issue of trying to make a run for it again and getting told, no, you're not done yet.
I hear that's very frustrating for those who've experienced it.
Oh, you have no idea. It's, in all fairness, it's not so much that it's so much of a better place. It's just you get tired of dealing with the way reality is right now, because people have closed themselves off so badly, and they seem to be getting better at turning a blind eye.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a couple of belief structures that seem to be gaining momentum. I'm looking at it going, I thought the human race was evolving. But I question that when I start looking at some of these ideas that are gaining momentum.
Like people thinking flat Earth is real?
Like, that's a big one. I mean, I love the argument that they have. Well, it was all CGI. Well, we got to remember that CGI didn't come into existence until way after that was done. Of course, those things will say it did. They just didn't tell you about it.
Oh, the frustrations we have, Keith. The frustrations we have. All right, we've only got about a couple minutes left here with you tonight. Let's see if we can squeeze in any more questions. Just kind of looking here. Corey's asking, did you just say dwarves are an alien race?
No, they're an ancient race. They were actually built a little earlier than what humans were, and for exactly the same reason, just at an earlier time. But they are an ancient. They evolved.
So where did they come from then?
They were built here on Earth. Specifically, if you really want to go back to that, you're looking back at the time that this continent, that this world was known as that the supercontinent was known as Pangea.
Right.
Okay, they were built back then.
Right. Keith, we got about a minute to go with you. Do me a favor, tell everybody where they can find your books, man.
The only place at this point, and we got to talk about that, is if you contact me at innervoiceenterprises@yahoo.ca, or track down my Facebook page and get in touch with me, because I'm not on Amazon right now. You can only actually get them through me for the moment.
Go to Keith. Contact Keith about his Alien Races book, Part 1. Part 2 is coming soon. Keith?
Absolutely.
That's a wrap, man.
It is.
That is a wrap. We will talk to you next on Friday, April 3rd.
Looking forward to it.
Stamp that. Stamp that again, just like you just did. Stamp it. We're right there.
A little calendar behind me that I write it and make sure that I've got it. The problem is that, of course, I've been 2 weeks ill, and it really screws up your time frames.
Very true. Very, very true. Keith, thank you so much again for being on Spaced Out Radio. You hold on. I got to start wrapping this thing up. Our YouTube crowd, we got our live Friday night after party. Ask Me Anything. We'll continue on in the chat room there as well for the after show. To our radio side, thank you so much for a great week. Check us out every night at spacedoutradio.com. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal rocking in the background with Little Brother Is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks this week to everybody listening in at work, at home, in your cars, wherever you may be. Special thanks to everybody in our chat rooms on YouTube, Spreaker, LGAB, Facebook, Revolution Radio, the SOR Space Travelers Club on our website, and all the snarkers and snarkettes on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. Fantastic job with all of you this week. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for sharing your week with us, because together, my friends, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you on Monday night. Come to the after party. Ask Me Anything. YouTube continues right after this. Radio side, have a great night. Goodbye.